Welcome. My name is Kelly.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Emma.
And this is Fanimated, an animation fan podcast where we get a chance to geek out about our favorite animated media. And I'm extra pumped today because I'm in person with two of my favorite people, and we're recording a podcast.
I know. I'm excited because I've never recorded with Laura before. So.
Same. Brand new for us. Very exciting.
It's a new combination of Fanimated hosts.
I love it.
And I love the energy that an in-person recording brings. And so I am just living my best life right now. I've also had 2 glasses of wine already.
We all have. So we're going to see where this goes.
See where it goes. Today is a Whatcha Watching, where we just chat about what we've been watching recently. And it's been a hot minute since we've recorded one of these. So my list is, of course, super long. But before that, a few random, tidbit things. Number 1, life update. I am living in the same apartment as Emma.
Yay! So that's me!
Just get ready for, I feel like it'll be so easy to just be like, Emma, come over here. We're going to record something.
Or we're going to watch something.
Yes, and that's been really great. So that's really fun. Fanimated is 3 years old, guys.
Yay, happy birthday.
It's insane. I'm like, if this was a child, they'd be rolling around and running into trees, and I don't know.
But at the same time, it makes sense because I think of the number of shows and movies and animated experiences that I had never heard of before that this podcast has introduced me to. And it makes sense that it's been 3 years because the amount of content that I have either put on a list or sometimes tried and loved, sometimes been like, maybe not for me, but it has been 3 years. Mm-hmm. You've talked about a lot of stuff on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. We are nearing the 100th full-length episode, by the way. And so keep your ears peeled for special updates on that, because I'm going to need help from you, the audience. So be prepped, because I think we're on 93, 94 full-length episodes. This is the 25th Whatcha Watching. That's a lot of episodes. It's kind of insane. And I remember starting out not knowing anything about anything. Granted, I still don't really, but I at least have a process and have somehow been able to maintain doing this at least somewhat regularly for 3 years, which is honestly just kind of a good feeling of oh wow, look what I did. And so again, I'm going to say my mantra, and I'm going to just shout out anyone else who is trying to reach a goal or create a project. Just starting and producing something and getting it out there that isn't perfect but it's finished is better than trying to reach perfection and never actually getting it done. Because so many of these podcast episodes are just me on Monday night haphazardly editing and uploading something, and it still reaches people, and it's still fun, and it still brings joy. So, just start. Just try something. It's great. So, and thank you. Thank you so much, all, for listening to the podcast, for being part of this, Fanimated community. I mean, every single email I receive, every single review, every single, patron, shout out to the patrons. You all are amazing, and every single one of those things just makes my day and makes me want to keep doing this. So thank you. It's been a great 3 years, and looking forward to more. Getting emotional. Also, I was really hoping I'd be able to make weekly episodes again. I took a nice little bi-weekly break. That's not going to happen. I can't guarantee. So things will just be as they come, at least every other week, hoping. But life has changed a lot in the past few months, and so just going to need some extra time. Thank you for your patience. And speaking of reviews, I wanted to read this one from Beginnings 1606. They say, quote, Hey, I love you guys so much. Thank you. And,
You're welcome.
and just for the fun of it, can you guys do Vanellope von Schweetz, even though she's not really a Disney princess? Heart, heart, heart. And here we have Laura, one of my Disney princess mains, and we should talk about Wreck-It Ralph.
We absolutely should. Vanellope also is a princess. We know this. She is one.
She's
I know
solidly
she's solidly. After Wreck-It Ralph 2, she has definitely been inaugurated into the Disney princess realm, in my opinion. So I would love to talk about Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, we definitely have to add that to the list. So thank you for the review. Please leave reviews. It's so much fun to read those. So, getting into it. Gals, what have you been watching recently?
Okay, I'm going first, I guess. I got the look. All right. Okay, so I've been watching a couple things. One, I am 2 episodes away from being finished with Vinland Saga. Yes.
I actually watched that one. It's like the one anime I watched.
So I've heard on the podcast. So, yeah, that's been really fun. I really have been enjoying these last few episodes because for me personally, this is not my typical go-to anime. And yes, listeners, I do watch more than just shoujo, okay? I love romance, I'm aware. But I also watch lots of shonen and stuff, so just haters gonna hate. Anyway, so...
There are no haters.
Oh, that's right. Everybody loves Fanimated. Anyway, so the point is, Vinland Saga, these last episodes have, in particular, been really good for character development, which has been really interesting to watch because it was hard for me to get into because I was like, okay, yeah, battles, history, which is cool, but like, where are we going with this? I'm mad at this person because why the heck would they stay with that person? It makes no sense to me. But now that we're further along, now that we're further along, it's just been really fun. So that's one that I'm almost done with, and then season 2 is coming out soon.
So soon.
So,
I can't wait. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I know, so that'll be a nice little transition, like really fast turnover, so I won't have to wait as long, so.
Yes.
It's a nice life for me. Okay, I've also been watching Wonder Egg Priority on Funimation, and I really love it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like top 10 anime, but it's just so intriguing and beautiful to me. I really love anime that go into darker, deeper topics, and this one involves, helping people move on who have in their lives committed suicide. So it's just a really powerful storyline of facing inner demons, and like it's basically like these 4 girls who are like the superheroes of this parallel universe. Superheroes is just a basic term. They are the ones protecting and saving all these different they're all young girls so far that have committed suicide in their lives, and helping them like kill their inner demons and all that so they can move on. So it's just really intriguing, and I love like the imagery in that show, and like I said, I really like it when shows go deep with things like that because it speaks on a different level but visualizes it with something extreme. So that's been really cool. Almost done with that. Yeah. And then lastly, Kelly and I started watching Parasite, which I've been enjoying personally. Though, I mean, it is quite intense at first, or the whole way through. I haven't watched it all, so, I imagine it's going to be intense to continue. But basically, there's these creatures, parasites, that keep infesting people's bodies and, basically consuming their brains so that they are in control of the host, or the human body. That is the host, and the parasite takes over, and the parasites are cannibals, so they're gonna kill other human beings to feed themselves. So it's this thriller, and on the news it's just there has been all these murders happening we can't trace anything. But the main character, he has a parasite that he was able to cut off into his, like, he noticed a bug went in his arm and he, like, put a belt to his arm to, like, stop the circulation. And so his brain was not taken over. It's just his hand is now, like, the super weapon of, like, created from the parasite. So now he's kind of like the superhero in his world and trying to, like, save humankind. It's very intriguing. Intense, and still not sure how I exactly feel about it, but I'm still gonna keep watching it.
I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching it. I have yet to. I mean, we've watched several episodes, like 6.
Yeah, something like that.
And I still don't feel connected to the characters. I still feel like
it's definitely not a character development show.
It's
so
not.
Far.
It's a plot show. And
which can be good too.
Which definitely can be good too. So for me, at least, I feel like the main character is pretty one-dimensional. He already, from the very first episode, has established his values and has committed to his humanity, and that's basically the whole show is about. This parasite in his hand keeps telling him the natural order of things, and very systematically is telling him that it's like, oh, well, of course we're eating humans, that's just how it goes. And he is like, no, I'm going to protect humans even if it doesn't make sense. He's dismissing rationale to fight for his humanity. So that doesn't feel like there's a lot of, like, internal conflict that's happening. And so that's just what I would look for in a show more so. So
yeah, he's, like, defending the idea that humans are different from animals. Like, humans have a soul, and so that makes them different. Like, they stand up for, like, what is right, and they protect lives even if it's not the natural order of things. But it is pretty, like, surface level as far as his purpose goes. And I am told by people who have watched it that when it's like the show is divided into 3 parts, and when you get into the second part, that's where the development really happens.
Maybe I'll have to keep
trying.
So
I'm going to stick around personally.
We do like the intros and outros.
Oh, yes. Yes. Very good. Very good.
What about you, Laura?
Well, I'm actually kind of in, like, a rewatch phase right now. When I get really busy in other aspects of my life, I tend to go to kind of comfort spaces where I can enjoy media, but it's not something I have to spend a lot of time paying attention to. So I have been rewatching a few things right now. The first thing that comes to mind is I have been rewatching a lot of the first episodes of Cowboy Bebop in anticipation of the live action Cowboy Bebop, which I am getting very excited for. A few weeks ago, the first sort of, screen grabs and pictures from this set came out of everyone in their costumes and stuff happening. I am really, really excited about it. I am someone who generally loves live action. I'm not necessarily a hater. I like when things change. I like when things are different. I like the opportunity to live in a different version of the same world. So I am very excited. I've been rewatching some of those first episodes. Just remembering how much I love Spike Spiegel. And it's going to be great. I think a lot of the listeners know I do the Disney stuff, but I'm also someone that I really love animated media built into live action film. That's kind of, I do a lot more live action type of viewing. And I have been revisiting Lord of the Rings recently, which is exciting to go back and watch on my 4K TV. Yes. Now that Kelly lives here again, we can watch so many more things on my fancy TV.
It's so pretty.
It's so great. That's been really fun. I also recently did a rewatch of the absolutely horrendous animated Lord of the Rings.
Oh my gosh! Literally, okay, yes.
Kelly has never seen it.
What?
No, like
Kelly,
it's
my gosh.
Horrible.
It's
literally horrible.
Okay,
but
can we talk about how The Hobbit, the cartoon Hobbit, is amazing? Have you seen The Hobbit?
Yes, I've seen The Hobbit.
Okay, gorgeous music. Okay, my side note is done.
I think one of the reasons I really wanted to rewatch it was so I just re-listened to the books And I'm like, I want to rewatch that live action, so I'm gonna rewatch this one. I know it's horrible, but I didn't realize how much that film did for it was like a pioneering film for the use of rotoscope. There is a scene with a bunch of orcs and urukai that the director literally filmed the extras going to go get lunch at the craft services table and used it for the rotoscope of the orcs like storming something. So that's been really fun to watch, and trying to kind of pick up and doing some research on which scenes used the rotoscope and which ones didn't, because the film itself is actually a piece of crap. And then in terms of new stuff that I have watched, the most recent like animated series that I really dug into was Invincible on Prime.
Which you convinced me to also watch. I convinced
Kelly to watch. I didn't even know it was a thing until my college-age brother came home for the summer and was like, you have to watch Invincible. Tim knows what I like. We like a lot of the same stuff. It's a really interesting superhero-based show. It's based on a comic book series. But the coolest thing about it for me is it's this great sort of modern story, but the animation harkens to the animation of a lot of the superhero-based shows that I watched when I was really little. And I'm talking like 3, 4, 5 years old. So if any listeners out there remember the old school Batman, Adventures of Spider-Man, or the X-Men, like after school, it's that style of animation. Kelly and I, because Kelly has watched and she was like, I'm not sure about this animation. I was like, it's purposeful.
Yes.
It looks exactly like this type of storytelling from when we were young, but with this new twist on a story.
Understanding that history of it, like, it gives me much more appreciation for it, and it makes more sense why it is stylized in the way it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love it. I think that it's really irreverent, and it's really interesting, and it's a new take on the superhero genre. I love all the characters. I love that their teenage lead is a true teenager and that you hate him and he's so stupid.
Yes, he's a very well written teenage character.
Yeah, my favorite.
I love.
Yes,
I love the angsty ones.
And he's voiced by I forget his name, but he is voiced by the same guy who plays Keith in Voltron.
It's only 10 episodes long. It's on Prime. They have ordered a season 2. There's a lot. I am not reading ahead in the comic books or anything.
Yeah.
There's a ton of content for them to draw on. I know I could spoil it for myself if I wanted to. I'm not going to. I love that it's just 10 episodes. I think that it's a tight script. I think it's written really well. I think it's exciting. Lots of different male, female characters, different stories to draw on. I think that they're going to go different places. I don't know. It's just, I'm very excited about it. And I like that I feel like it's new for Prime, for like an original Prime series, to have an animation-focused superhero type of show that has done really well for them. And I'm excited that did well, and I hope that it encourages them to bring on more new content that's animated.
That is the biggest reason I'm excited about it, is because here's a Western-made adult animation that isn't solely a comedy. Mm-hmm. It's a drama. It's an action drama. And that's what's really exciting. Because to be honest, like, my critique of it is that it feels like a lot of things I've already watched in anime. Mm-hmm. But here it's a Western show made for a Western audience that's adult animation that isn't a comedy. And so that's really cool, and I hope that opens the doors to more people, accepting animation in that way, and for more shows like that to be created. And obviously I won't spoil it because we don't spoil things here, but I would say my biggest problem with it was that the one plot piece and mystery box that they're, pulling you along with the entire series, I felt the reveal of that mystery box didn't make up for the entire series. Like, it wasn't as satisfying. But it surprised me that even though the content of that mystery box in this like metaphor that I'm using wasn't surprising or interesting, the way they unwrapped it was pretty dang cool.
I also have to say, because it's something where you know before they reveal it.
Yeah.
And it's a slow burn. Something that happened here that I thought was kind of unique was they made you think the surprise was going to happen with the main character, and in the last few episodes, all the side characters that why do they keep showing these characters? They just start dropping crap with these characters of like, surprise, surprise, twist, twist, what's gonna happen? This person's important. You didn't think so. And you're like, whoa, because you're like, okay, I know what's gonna happen, and then they just start dropping all this stuff with the other characters, and I thought that was pretty exciting. Because the main storyline was so predictable, they surprised you with how important everyone else around the main people were.
And, like, again, we love the main character. And not to spoil, but, like, he really is just a normal kid.
Yeah!
Which I love! I love that this protagonist is, like, normal. And ultimately, it's more than just him that makes, like... Again, it's not like I'm going to be the best. It's like I'm going to do my best. You know, like I'm going to do my best even if it's not the best.
Exactly.
Ooh, like it.
I have to mention one more thing before I toss it to you, Kelly, because I just can't let it go. You guys know, the listeners know, one of my favorite animated shows of all time is Arthur.
Yes.
Of course.
And they announced that Arthur is ending. After 25 years, the winter of 2022 will be the last episodes of Arthur.
So sad.
25 years
Childhood.
of learning life lessons from Arthur and DW and all of his friends, both for kids and adults. What a wonderful piece of animation that will continue to live on and be played for years and years and years. But I have been actively making sure that I am aware of when the new episodes of Arthur are airing and trying to tune in or record them so that I can watch them. I've done that. I don't watch it religiously. Like, I'm not, you know, but when they announced something like the episode where Mr. Ratburn got married, I tuned in and watched that one. I thought that was important. And I really loved it. And so I've been actively kind of marking my calendar with when the new episodes are airing so that I can tune in and watch them. And I'm definitely going to tune in and watch the final episode.
Yeah, you have to have a watch party.
I think we should.
Childhood.
Yeah,
Literally.
it's such a beautiful animated series that has lasted for 25 years. I'm only 31. That's the majority of my life that Arthur has been available for me to watch. So
we'll have to do an episode on it to commemorate.
I think so.
I think we should finally do that.
Yeah.
Since you've been mentioning Arthur for a long time.
It's like, what are you watching? And I'm like, Arthur.
Always.
Arthur.
Yes.
Always.
So I'm watching a lot.
Wait, what? Surprise!
What? This is what I do with all my spare time. Okay. First off, Liz. Thank you, Liz. Patron Liz. Everyone go be a patron at patreon.com/fanimated. Liz recommended Vivo on Netflix, which is Lin-Manuel Miranda's animated movie about I don't even want to, I don't even know. It's just heartfelt and great and songs.
That sounds like a good time.
Yes. Okay. So this little, I'm going to say I don't even know what type of monkey he is. It's not a monkey. It's like a little cute little furry monkey thing. He goes on an adventure to bring a song to this person. It's like, road trip. It's great.
A lemur or something?
It's not a lemur. It's like,
Capuchin?
Okay, well, now we've talked about it enough. I need to look it up.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's something. They made so many jokes about it, and I can't remember. Oh, whoa. Wait, can I pronounce that? Kinkajou.
Pikachu?
No.
Where's the word?
Kinkajou. Kinkachu.
Pikachu.
Kinkachu.
Whoa. Who
Pikachu.
knew there was an animal that sounded like Pikachu?
Maybe that's why they got the name Pikachu.
Probably not.
A Kinkachu goes on a little adventure. Lin-Manuel Miranda voices the Kinkachu, writes music, obviously sings this music, obviously is a producer, is great. Animation, really, really great, high quality stuff, really beautiful in moments, and uses lots of different varieties of animation, which I love. The story surprised me. The music is, it's fantastic. And all in all, 10 out of 10. Recommend. So thank you, Liz, for recommending that. I have been watching recently, I've been rewatching Code Geass.
Of course.
That's like early 2000s mecha robot anime. And it's a classic. Highly recommend. I think the real reason I wanted to rewatch it was because I'm still an Immonosis, because now we're roommates, and so I like verbally process all of my crap with her. But like Attack on Titan season 4 has really like unraveled me. And so I needed to rewatch. I've been needing to rewatch Code Geass because it is also a war drama anime, but they go that route, but do it in a different way and end it in a different way. And so I'm still just trying to reconcile the ending of Attack on Titan, basically. And so I needed to watch Code Geass, and Lelouch is a better character than Eren Yeager. Moving on.
Eren Yeager.
You
suck. What? Just
kidding,
okay.
I also watched Heaven Official's Blessing on Netflix, which is a Chinese animation. It is like this god... Basically, like, angel falls in love with demon storyline. The end. But it was really great. And the music was fantastic. And I'm suddenly watching so many more Chinese, cartoons, animation. Can I call it anime? It's not Japanese, but it's anime-ish. Because Netflix suddenly just has a ton of Chinese animation, like, on their site. So, there's that. And... honestly, this is what happens. This is the real way that I get into a show, is because I'll see fan art online and be like, what's that? That looks awesome. And then I watch the show because I see a whole bunch of fan art of it. That's what happened with Heaven Official's Blessing. I was like, this is what everyone's making fan art about. I'm going to watch it. And I did. It was great.
So what you're saying is, I need to start drawing fan art of the things I want you to watch. And just strategically placing them. The problem is, it will be stick figures with watch this and then like a little hangman.
Or little reminders of like, hey, remember that anime you started that you need to finish?
Oh, you mean the one with the music?
Sounds alive!
I can't remember the name.
And Anohana? Like,
yeah.
Girl, come on.
That hurt me. That cut me deep. I could
You
do
want
even
grief
finish it.
anime.
I don't.
Yeah, okay. See, I'm moody and emoing into that stuff. Like, so like,
I can barely do normal anime, so I feel like grief anime is not that there's a normal, but like
right, yeah.
the classic. My husband loves anime, so
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and I can't. I just.
It's all good.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, I am catching up on The Owl House on Disney Plus, and it is charming and wonderful and fantastic in every single way, and it brings me so much joy, and has been a really good taste of Alex Hirsch after rewatching all of Gravity Falls. So, also recommend, especially if you like Gravity Falls. Also, go listen to our Gravity Falls episode. Plug.
Do it.
Great. That about sums it up for what we've been watching. This has been great, and thanks again for listening to our September Spectacular. We've got some great episodes coming up, so that's good. To hear over a dozen bonus episodes and vote for upcoming episode topics, you can go to patreon.com/Fanimated and become a member of the Fanimated crew. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Fanimated Podcast to stay up to date with all things animated. And don't forget to leave a rating and review telling us what you'd like us to watch next. The music is written by Jamie Krause, and the art is done by myself. You can find me on Instagram at CandorDraw. Thank you, Emma and Laura, for joining me this evening. This was fantastic. And Emma and I will be back next week, hopefully, or sometime very soon, with the patron voted from Up on Poppy Hill. Finally, another one that we've been waiting 3 years to talk about and are finally going to discuss.
So good.
And I can finally defend my love of that movie.
Yes.
So definitely stay tuned and
Stay animated! Kind of looks like a Pikachu.